Everything was perfect. And
David brought the hype with his Thanos theory.
Well, you two like really have a flow going, and just a really good creative relationship going here. It's like, wow, this is really working. So,
yeah, they brought me in the last minute. I had no idea that.
I know.
That was funny.
I was like looking for my mute. I was trying to unmute my button. I'm like, oh crap, where's the mute button? Because I had to mute myself.
Matter of fact, you're an integral part because whenever we discussed doing the Marvel send-off, I had you in mind in terms of you're someone who didn't read the comic books but has become a fan through the movies. And I think a lot of the Marvel tribe is showing both sides of the same coin,
Yeah, you two really know your stuff, and you're wonderful conversationalists, so it's fun to listen to.
Geek up.
We try.
What up, Amber?
Hey, Amber.
What's up, Amber? We're back. She couldn't join us today. She's what is she doing?
She's
getting ready for.
She's got to get a facial for pictures.
She's prepping for an event.
Yeah,
that's right.
Prepping for an event.
She has a photo shoot.
And Megan is sleeping.
Yeah, Megan's got to get up for work in a few hours. So,
and Tim's never on here, so
we still love him.
Oh, hey,
we do. Yeah.
What's up, Tim? I forgot all about Tim.
What is up, Barry? I see Barry. Hello,
Barry's from the Airbnb podcast. Those guys rock.
Airbnb.
Nice.
What's up, Barry?
how's it going, Barry?
They're the ones that gave us the idea for this live stream, so we appreciate that.
Thank you.
Can they let us know how to get the audio really good so we can put it on our podcast feed? If you know anything, Barry, let me know. As an audio technician,
we've talked.
Done. It's like this sucks so bad. I can't put this out there.
If you smell.
Actually, I have an idea to make Zencaster work though. I do have an idea.
Let's try it.
Not much. Barry, are you like? What are you in line for in this photo? Can anyone tell where Barry is in this photo?
You don't have a stand?
No, I'm still Bob Barker in it.
I have 4 of them over here sitting around me. So
get a stand. Like that's like the few audio issues I found this morning were probably from that. Like they were minimal, but they were there. Like that, you would be 110% every episode if you had a stand. Like right now you're today. Right now you're sitting at 92. I want you at 110.
Ooh.
I mean, you're still an A.
Tell me how you feel about that.
Better.
What's the SNL character that Bill Hader plays?
Bill Hader is the old guy, and he puts the mic right in their face. He's absolutely amazing. So.
Man, I have not seen SNL. I haven't seen SNL forever. They're not consistent, so it's hard to follow that.
I can see that. I was rewatching one of the sketches with Adam Driver where he plays the old man.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
That was hilarious.
Oh, there he is.
Dabo Bar and Animal Kingdom. Oh, okay.
We could get Chris. I have a handheld mic and I have a converter, and that it's made to be held so it doesn't make little audio. He could just do that. We get a little Dcast, like news decal around it, and
there you go.
He could Bob Barker the whole time.
This is Chip Levette coming to you live.
Hi, Joy. Does Joy know we're live? Does your wife know we're live?
She does. Okay. She's trying to get out of the room of the camera.
I see her right there.
There she is. Hi, Joy.
Hi, Joy. You're live. There's a dozen people watching you.
I'll move it. There you go.
She's just chilling in the background.
Oh, that's perfect.
All right, we should start. There's a lot to talk about today.
Okay, let's do this.
Well, there's one big thing to talk about.
Breaking news.
Yeah, you were recording your thing, and I'm like, I guarantee Brooke doesn't even know yet. Because people were messaging me, telling me.
Yeah. So what happened was, as I was about.
Wait, let's not talk about it yet.
Okay.
Let's let Chris do his opening.
We gotta do our opening.
Five Guys. I'm just kidding.
Brooke gave you. I'll look at the look she's giving you right now.
I mean, because I have to include Tim. 5 guys, 3 girls. That's what we have total. Right? Am I wrong? So, all right. 3, 2, 1. Good evening, Dcasters. You're seeing the guy behind the dulcet tones. I don't know what I had it in my head and I went blank. I apologize. Yo, what up?
And Joy's headphones are in.
No, I can't see you. No one can see you, Joy. You're a ghost. Like a Police album, you're a ghost in the machine.
I haven't done an intro in a while.
You know what, Andy?
Here we go.
Do you want to do an intro?
Kick it off, Andy.
Right, let's
go ahead. Kick off the second episode of this new era.
Greetings and salutations there, Dcasters. This is Andy, and we are here on this live stream with the Brooke, the Blurred Hulk, the Big Bayou, the Big Papa Disney, and myself. We are talking all things Disney, Pixar, Marvel, and of course Star Wars. We are the Dcast, the official podcast network of the DisneyInsider.com, and we are excited to have you here. We got some big news, and you guys know what it is, so let's get to it. Disneyland is not reopening on their anniversary. What's going on, everybody?
Jeez. Okay, so if we want to talk numbers, in Orange County, currently we have 11,016 confirmed cases. 279 of those are today specifically. We are averaging this week at 260 cases a day. Anaheim specifically, we have 2,060 cases, which makes Orange County the fourth highest number of cases out of 58 counties in California.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a 68% total increase in the last 2 days.
So with that, you may not have known. I think it was first reported by first time I saw it was Mice Chat.
I saw it from KTLA News. Fast Pass
Channel 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Fast Pass Facts put it on their Duck Squad like an hour ago. I didn't even pay attention to it, and then my wife said, "Did you see this?" I'm like, "Whoa!" And then I wasn't even paying attention. And then Mice Chat, yeah. So then Skylar messaged me and says, "Here, look at this." And
yeah, so I messaged Skylar. I'm like, "What do you know?"
We knew that it was a proposal to begin with, that the July 17th opening date was not confirmed.
But they were confident.
But they were very confident in it. We were all pretty certain that was going to happen. Mm-hmm. And in fact, there had been petitions online for cast members to delay not that it's the cast members' control, but that for them to delay the reopening. Now, for some context, this petition has gotten more signatures than any online Disney petition in the past. That's more than Save the Tower of Terror. That's more than Bugs Land. More than
bring having back to the
that one, and poor Save Bugs Land only had 480 signatures.
Oh, but they were 480 strong.
Ooh.
They
were strong.
Well, what is this? I'm unsure what the current count of signatures is, but it was well over 35,000 signatures. Yeah. Mm-hmm. To delay the reopening. So there
was stuff from the unions saying, hey, to the governor saying this isn't, we don't want this, everything. I think, honestly, in my opinion, I think July 17th was their target date for obvious reasons, being Disneyland's 65th anniversary. I actually bet my boss at work that I thought they would open, just even if it was for 2 hours that day, just to say they open on to be open on his. I had to call him and tell him, and he was very, very happy. So Rodney, you'll bring your $10 tomorrow. So but we were supposed to. Our second trip was planned for the end of July, so I'm glad that we actually moved it to March. So, but I put a story to our chat today about OC Register saying that they were planning a protest. Mm-hmm. The union was planning a protest on Saturday, so I think it was a lot of pressure from the cast members, from the public, from the state, and I think they just realized they would look in a better light if they decided to put this off, because it is growing there. Like, the numbers are crazy. I think isn't California now the hot spot in the country?
California has the highest numbers in the country right now.
Yeah, so it was a smart move on their part. It's going to save them a lot of bad publicity, I think, from opening. Yeah. For the purist in me, it kind of sucks they won't be open on Disneyland's birthday, but I get it. So
okay,
yeah.
And also on that note, the foreign parks are going to be opening. Right. Disneyland Paris is still set to open. Is it Disneyland Paris that is opening July 16th, and then yes. Tokyo Disney is July 1st.
That's right, yeah. We'll talk about this tomorrow on the Extra Magic Hour.
Do we have the official statement from Disney that they released?
Yes. I don't have it with me. Skylar sent it to me. It's just basically
they released an official statement.
What do you want to know about it? Do you want me to open up and tell you something about it, or?
Well, I would like to just so everyone has a good frame of context.
Basically what it says is that they had their plans, and the state of California has decided not to do anything until after July 4th to decide. So, and then they were looking at saying there's no way after July 4th that to get our 30,000 employees back to order the food for the park. There's no way that, not knowing for sure if they were going to approve their plans anyway, that they it's with the heavy heart that they have to decide to postpone it, not knowing when they're going to do it. But
I can go ahead and read this real quick.
Okay.
We have previously announced proposed phase reopening of the theme parks for July 17th. Pending government approvals, we developed enhanced health and safety protocols for both cast members and guests at Shanghai Disney Resort, Hong Kong Disneyland Resort, and Walt Disney World Resort that have been approved, allowing the reopening in a responsible manner and bringing our cast members back to work. State of California has now indicated that it will not issue theme park reopening guidelines until sometime after July 4th. Given the time required for us to bring thousands of cast members back, like you said, and work to restart our business, we have no choice but to delay the reopening of the theme parks and resort hotels until we receive approval from government officials. Once we have a clearer understanding when the guidelines will be released, we expect to be able to communicate the reopening date. Our downtown Disney district will reopen July 9th, as previously announced, with health and safety protocols in place for our cast members and guests. The opening of our downtown Disney resort has been previously approved in line with restaurant and retail openings throughout California. The Master Services Union, which represents our retail cast at this location, previously signed an agreement for members to return to work. In order to reopen our theme park, we need to negotiate agreements with our unions to return the employees to work. We have had positive discussions and are very pleased to have signed agreements from 20 union affiliates, including the Master Services Council, which represents more than 11,000 of our cast members. The signed agreement details plans that include enhancing safety protocols that will allow us to responsibly reopen and get thousands of our cast members back to work. We thank our cast members and guests for their patience during this unprecedented time while we await approval from the government officials. My thing is, yes, that they're saying California, but a lot of news has dropped today about the sheer number of cases that have gone up. Like, one, California being the head of everybody else. Yesterday, it came out that we never really we flattened the curve, but we're still in the wave. Like, where Europe, China, every place else, it went up. They did the measures and it came back down. We went up and then came down a little bit, and then we just kept going in the United States. And so it's really, they can sit there and blame California all they want. And Disney, I love you. But the bottom line is, given the status right now, I just don't see it happening. And also in Florida is one of the states that New York, Connecticut, and New Jersey is requiring people after midnight tonight. If you come from one of those states entering into Connecticut, New York, and New Jersey, you have to be quarantined by the state for 14 days. This is unprecedented for them to do that. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say I don't see Walt Disney World opening up anytime soon either. Europe and China, absolutely. They've been responsible. The people are social distancing. They have really brought their numbers down. United States, our numbers are spiking up like crazy. And not only are we not going to see these parks open, I think we're going to see a second lockdown.
It's possible.
That seems really, where we're headed.
Yeah, I really
hate to be the bearer of bad news. I really do.
Right.
I really can't wait to talk more about that in detail on the Extra Magic Hour, and perhaps give some insight into everything that is going on in the Disney Parks community right now, as much as I can. Everything that's going on,
and the sheer amount of disrespect we're seeing at like Disney Springs from guests towards cast members about simply putting on a mask, which we know scientists and doctors have figured out this is one thing everyone can do to help stop the spread of the virus. Everyone can do this. There was a case that came out from, or a news story that came out from Missouri today of two stylists in St. Louis, Missouri, at a Great Clips. They cut 140 people's hair between them, had 6 other people they were working with. They infected 0 because all guests and all employees not only social distance and wash their hands and sanitize everything, they all were required to wear masks from the second they went into the store until they left. So these are things that work that people just are fighting tooth and nail. I'm really passionate about it because it's like, it works and you don't want to do it. Like, we could have normal lives if we all just wore masks.
Well, and it's an easy fix.
Exactly.
It's an easy fix, and it's just being ignored. But you want me to put this on in case something happens? Yeah, you put a seatbelt on, don't you? Same concept.
Yeah.
Yes.
Same concept.
Yeah.
Hey, Dave Saunders from Oregon.
Nope.
Hello.
Says hi.
I put
So,
that
there
up there.
is.
Hi, Dave. So I have a question for each one of you, and we'll go through you guys real quick, and we'll get off this topic.
All right.
The question is, we will start with you, David.
All right.
When do you think Disneyland will reopen?
Ooh.
I want a date. I want a date from you when you think they're going to reopen now. I have mine.
An actual
so you tell me
date?
what you Yeah.
Okay. So let's see here. It's still 2020. So I'm gonna say January 1st, 2021, because this year is crazy.
Exactly my answer.
And I think we're gonna get hit with a second and possibly a third wave because just the way the land of the free operates. We don't really do stuff in unison. And not that I'm being a Debbie Downer or any. I actually don't like that term. Not that I'm being a downer or party spoiler, but I think 2020 is off the books, despite our best efforts.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Brown, what do you think?
I was actually in the same boat. I was thinking January 1st. I think 2020 is basically our red shirt freshman year. We're just not counting it. It's just it's a year for us to get, let's just get everything out of the way.
Right.
Let the bad stuff happen. With just the sheer effort it's going to take to reset the economy slowly, to get 3,000 workers back onto union contracts and get them all set up and then get all the food in together and then try to figure out your food costs from that and
right.
just the sheer insane amount of detail planning on little things like ordering certain trinkets and items that maybe sell when you're packed but won't sell when you're only at half capacity.
Yep.
And what that's going to mean. I mean, there's going to be a lot of testing going on. They're going to be probably under ordering, or and in the hopes that they don't sell out. And then they're going to have to rethink the way they do everything. We all are. We have to, and then even after that, even into 2021, we're going to high fives, hugging, things like that. All of that stuff's going to come into play now as an afterthought or something in the back of your mind. Fist bumps, just stuff like that, and it's just going to take patience and diligence, and that's something that I think a lot of crowds struggle with, so I think at the very earliest, it's going to be January of next year.
How about you, Brooke?
I think that they all covered just about everything. I would also like to say January of next year. I know all of the Halloween parties have been canceled because everything the Halloween parties provide cannot be provided in this time. They can't give out candy. Parades can't happen. So much. So yeah, definitely January. It's going to be very, I don't want to say interesting. It's going to be very tough seeing the effects that it has on the cast and where they stand on employment. But I know that this has to happen. In terms of liquidation, Chris was talking about ordering less items. I know that some of the Galaxy's Edge items will be sold in Targets, and it's going to be interesting to see how and if they choose to liquidate things. The Shop Disney site is still supposedly thriving with people shopping from home.
Right.
However, things that they normally sell in the parks, they can't anymore. And will those items go to Targets because places like company Dcast member stores or outlets such as the Citadel outlets, Disney Store won't be able to provide a place for those items to be sold anymore. I'm just gonna stick with January.
Andy, how about you, buddy?
I hate to be I feel like such a negative Nelly, but there's a lot going on in our country right now for obvious reasons. Good things, but also coronavirus is a very bad thing, and it's been. I don't care what political stance you have. You cannot deny the fact that both federal and state governments have completely botched the response to this. You look toward other governments, whether they be democracies or dictatorships, they've handled this much more appropriately. Obviously, if you live in a single-party communist system in China, it's easier to get a lid on things because people have to do what you say because they have things like, work camps that if you don't listen, they'll send you to. So with that said, though, because it's going to be a struggle. We have an election coming up. I am going to venture to say we're going to see a second shutdown, probably. And with the warnings we've seen from the Center for Disease Control about how this thing spreads during the winter, in the United States, I don't think it's going to be safe to open until spring of next year, March 20th, 2021. I think opening up January 1, you're in the middle of winter. And that is the peak time of spread. I guess it can spread during summer, but during winter it spreads much more easily.
True.
So I hate being that way, but we as a society just have to pivot. We have to realize, you have to wear a mask, you have to do these things, and we can have a pretty normal life. Except things like gathering at theme parks are out of the question. Large gatherings, with outside of your family are pretty much out of the question. Right. I've done a lot of work. We're starting a hiking podcast, and there's a big debate in that community right now about whether you should be hiking or not. Hiking's fine. The problem is, and why a lot of state governments are closing down their state parks, is because you have people who are saying, "Oh, we want to go out into the forest and social distance." When in reality, they don't. They want to get 25 friends together in the middle of the forest and party in the wilderness. And that's just people's mindset. Like, I haven't been able to do it, so now that they say I can't, I'm going to do it. Or they're just finding, BLM land, and they're just dispersed camping and getting 25, 30 people together, and they're not social distancing. And I know it sucks to not be around your friends and family. But that's just the reality we're in. And so I'm saying March 20th, 2021. Okay. If they do open before that, I expect come winter, there's going to be they'll have to shut it down again.
Okay, here's my thought on it real quick. I asked Skylar when he sent me the information. He sent me the link to their statement, and I asked him real quickly before we came on what he thought, and he said August. He thinks they'll open in August.
No.
What you said, Andy, with Florida not opening, I think they will open because it's already been approved by the state. So I think they will. I think they will open, and I think that my opinion is that I think that Disneyland West Coast will sit and watch and see what happens there. And I think that they'll open in probably early to mid-September, and they'll just open up with the holiday overlay. I think to try to boost people's spirits at that time, from a pure financial standpoint at this point, because there's going to keep getting pressure given to the state, just like Tesla gave pressure to the state of California that if you don't do this, we're going to leave. So I don't know. I think it's going to be. I think we're looking at probably mid-September that they'll reopen. And like you said, there could be a shutdown. They'll shut down again just like that. So I think from a financial point, they will try to open sometime in September.
And absolutely, they will try that.
Exactly. Yeah, they're going to try, but
I see, and I get what you're saying. I think they will try, but I think the Tesla thing, like Tesla has the capacity to pick up and go anywhere. I mean, they're like Amazon. Right. They're a hot ticket. You can't really pack. You can't pack up Disneyland and you just can't. So
no.
So they'll try, and they have some pull. Don't get me wrong. Disney has pull in California, but I don't know. So yeah, do we have fun questions or?
I love the thought of the rationale of, well, we're going to open in August to make it better for everyone. Clearly, you've never been in Florida in August. That's not a good time for anybody out in that oppressive, that heat and humidity.
Humidity.
So I'm doing a watch party, and I want to say hi to Tanya and Katrina and Mateo from Keep Calm and Adult On. That's another local podcast. And Matthew Robertson. They're all on my watch party, I guess.
What up, Matt? What up, Matt?
Yeah. So let's see what's happening on the rundown. Oh, no, wait. Go ahead, Brooke.
Let's do that. Well, I was going to say there's so much that I want to mention, but I have to kind of keep my mouth shut for right now. So tune into Extra Magic Hour.
She knows things.
Sean. So
she knows things.
She
All right.
knows.
I do.
So
I don't know.
first on the docket.
Cast members don't even know anything. So.
Well, they know they're not going back to work. Now they know that. So.
Booyaka shout out. So first on the docket.
Do you have
what?
Chris, do you have tape on your glasses?
Yes, sir. I do. This is week 3, I think.
I thought it was a glare this whole time.
No. I was playing online video games with my brother, and my glasses fell off my face, and I caught them. Okay. And when I caught them, apparently I Lenny of Mice and Men them and snapped them right in half. So
yes, Amber.
Now the optometrist has opened now. I just have to somehow find a way to work overnight and then stay awake and go there and get my frames fixed. So right now I'm rocking the tape. And not ironically either. Someone.
Anyway,
well, I thought you were doing a tribute because this is Revenge of the Nerds week when they came out and opened. So I'm like, look at him. He's on it. He's on it.
Oh, that's a good movie.
It's something.
No, it's good. Come on.
DisInsider.com news. This will be happy for everyone. And you know what? After watching the trailer, I mean, I'm obviously going to watch it. But the trailer for Hamilton arriving on Disney Plus has been released. Hamilton is on its way, and I'm excited to watch it. We'll see if I can reverse my initial decision about it.
You get subtitles this time.
Exactly. So. Thank you. I'm more than willing to admit when I've made a mistake. There have been lots of music and movies in the past I didn't like on first viewing, and eventually wore me down and won me over. And it's certainly possible that this could be one of them. Anyone? Any thoughts on Hamilton? I know Andy's going to mark out on it. So go ahead.
Dale, I love your name.
Dale. It's Dale Wetland, one of my original co-hosts.
Thank you, Dale. You feel the pain.
Hey, what up, Dale?
Wow.
Well, hi, Dale.
Yes.
I'm super excited for Hamilton. I can't wait to hear Suddenly Seymour, and all of those other fun musicals that I love so much. So
Hamilton starring Rick Moranis. I watch that.
Yes,
I would totally watch that.
Okay, so
full disclosure, I once tried to get a cute boy to sing Suddenly Seymour to me. It did not work, but
that's so cute.
I love him in that movie. Anyhow.
Lift up your hand.
This is gonna be amazing. It's the original cast. It was filmed 3 weeks before closing. Over I think it was 4 or 5 different performances. They gave up 2 F words. So Lin-Manuel literally gave 2 Fs, and but
why did he do that?
He did that because if you have more than 1 F word, as the King's Speech knows a few years ago, about 10 years ago, if you have more than 1 F word in a movie, you automatically get rated R in the United States. So they had to give. So Lin-Manuel gave 2 Fs. So, anyways,
that explains what you put in the group chat like this morning. I'm like, what the heck's he talking about? So
I literally put this morning in the group chat. I put Lin-Manuel Miranda gave 2 Fs, except I didn't put F. I put the other thing.
Yeah. Well,
I didn't even know what he was talking about.
Well, in the article that I shared, Lin actually said that. That was his quote.
Oh, wow.
And I had to put the Captain America
wanted to make it
language.
Yeah.
Well, Lin wanted it to be more accessible to families with this PG-13 rating. He really wants as many people as possible to see this and receive the message of Hamilton.
Especially
and I'm very glad. Yeah, it's definitely something that's needed. So I'm very excited.
And Disney Plus has done this like with 2 documentaries that I love. If you don't know, if you've noticed my socials, I'm getting really into the outdoor wilderness stuff. And Nat Geo on Disney Plus is amazing because it has all that stuff, and it's still Disney, which is great. But they've Pre-Solo, which won Best Academy Award 2 years ago for documentary, and another documentary called Into the Grand Canyon, which is about two guys who hike the entire Grand Canyon. They've just muted over a lot of language, and that's just what Disney Plus does. So we've always had the moniker here, keep it Disney with everything, and so that's what we do, and that's what Disney's doing. They're not being obvious about it. They're just bleeping it, and so your 5-year-old doesn't say what does it mean. So.
There's still a lot of adult themes in Hamilton for sure.
Yeah.
And Chris, I don't know if you want to talk about pro shots in theater and pro shots bootlegs and how all of this comes around to the theater community and what this pro shot of Hamilton means.
And then after that, I want you two to talk about a certain Broadway star you guys talked to, had an amazing interview with, and that episode dropped on Monday, this last Monday. So that first, then the next thing.
Okay, so Miss Sidani Smith was incredible. She is an international Broadway theater actress, and among many other things, this girl can rap Hamilton in German. She was a part of the German cast of Hamilton.
Legit.
And this also meant that there was a translator who had the unfortunate job of translating all of the Hamilton raps into German and making it work. But she was such a joy, and finding her unique journey and voice in the theater community, she has had one of the most unique stories that I've heard from an actor. So yeah, Chris, do you have anything to say about Sidani?
Yeah, no, it was a really, really enjoyable interview. She's a lovely person. She has an incredible amount of belief in herself, and as she said on the interview, she's a self-proclaimed, she's not, and she's an introvert, and so she gets on stage and she sings, and I can't imagine how hard that would be. As if you were, I am not an introvert, so I have no problem doing that. But to fight against your own type in the way that you think, and she made this huge leap of faith her senior year of college, where she said, "You know what? I want to be singing. I want to sing." She was trained on the violin and the viola.
Full ride scholarship.
Yeah, full ride. And her senior year, she goes, "You know what? I want to sing instead." What? And they didn't believe in her. They told her she was making a terrible decision.
That's amazing.
And she did it. And she literally, she just has this philosophy of, of walking through open doors. And one door opened for her, and then she got another door that opened for her to go to Germany. And then when she got to Germany, she realized that the musical theater community is huge, and they actually bring over American directors to direct the same shows they do, just in German. So she learned German. She did
Sister Act.
She lost 70 pounds because she decided that she needed to be in better shape for her voice and vocals and dancing. And now she has these morning thoughts where she tells everyone to just live your best life. Don't be scared. Take your shot. Take your shot, Hamilton. There you go. So
don't throw away your shot.
Exactly. She's awesome. It was a pleasure to interview her.
Yeah.
So Dale wants to know if they'd rhyme the German words.
Interview,
Yeah.
Sorry,
David. Go ahead.
Of course. No, I just want to say, after your guys' interview, if you guys haven't seen it yet, you guys have to watch it. But as you listening to that and the story of her life, it's like, man, I can actually see Disney make one of those true to life movies and stuff like this. She would be an awesome character to make a movie about her life and stuff. So yeah, that's all I want to say. That's my 2 cents.
No, for sure, I completely agree. She's working with a nonprofit, One at a Time, where she is a princess in her own right. If you've seen those videos on Instagram stories of Princess Tiana singing, she does a wonderful job with her nonprofits as well. So only good things to say about Sidani.
Yeah, seriously. I'm so glad that her, I guess her casting agent saw the BLM episode we did and contacted us as a result, because it's an interview I don't know if we'd have even known to think about reaching out for someone like her, and instead she kind of reached out for us, and it's awesome. She's she's super sweet. I've been DMing her and telling her about when the show is coming out and everything, and we had talked about Endless Night from The Lion King, and she had asked for this quote that I said, so I sent her the quote, and she sent me the German version of it, and I was like, this is so beautiful and quite scary, but very pretty. It was just such an awesome, I mean, she didn't have to do that, and that was such an awesome, nice thing for her to do. So yeah, great person. I look forward to watching her take spotlights and run with them. So
yeah,
right on.
On the topic of musical theater in general and how that relates to Hamilton. So for those in the theater community, there are so many amazing shows, and unfortunately, because of COVID, they are not running. And there's a debate in the community about theater bootlegs, which are illegally recorded copies of shows. Now, unfortunately, theater is not accessible to everyone.
Right.
It's very difficult to get the money to go and see a show on Broadway, or if it's touring anywhere near your area. I know in Southern Oregon, I'm so glad that we have the Oregon Shakespeare Festival in Ashland, but
also, I want to. Well, don't let me. The organization I work for, I want to get to that after you're done with this. Yeah,
seeing shows that come from Broadway that you might see on TikTok as well, it can be very difficult. So when companies decide to release pro shots, such as Hamilton's professionally recorded version of the show, or Legally Blonde when MTV did a pro shot of that, or anything really, even if people make fun of the live versions of shows, providing live theater to people is so important. And so I'm very glad that Hamilton and Disney Plus are releasing this, and hopefully this means that more shows can be convinced to do this.
See the light of day. It would be great. Yeah. All right, go ahead, Andy. Tell us about your.
Oh, so speaking of theater, I just want to point out I work for an organization that you're about to hear a lot more from, the Actual New Plays Festival, and we do the Play for Keeps podcast, where we record. That's a huge issue that we wanted to tackle, is that theater is not accessible to 99% of the world. If you get to watch live theater, you're in a very privileged position. So we create a podcast where we find plays, and we get them professionally recorded by union actors and record them and put them on the podcast. And it's been a huge undertaking. And we have a partner within, like, I can't even say, but it's something huge happening with that. And the whole goal is to get theater to the masses. And so that's why I love what Hamilton's doing. People criticize. No, it's not the same as going to the stage. It's just not. But
it can truly be someone's introduction into the world of theater.
It inspires people to be interested in theater, and then find a way to go to the Oregon Shakespeare Festival or Broadway, or a play in Los Angeles or Portland or wherever. So check out Actually New Plays Festival, the Play for Keeps podcast. I'd encourage you to do that. Professionally recorded plays. But on the other hand, bootleg is a huge issue, because we've had bootleg issues with that as well. That's a huge issue in Broadway.
So you can't name your benefactor. That means it's Oprah, right?
Yep, that's
right,
what
David.
It's
Oprah.
I knew it.
David swears.
Oprah called you back. We know it's true.
I was worried. Thanks to my wife Lindsay, who gave me my charger. My my laptop's about to die. I worked on a film with some big name actors, and David swears that one of them was Oprah. Because Oprah was in the state at the same time I was working on this film.
Get a movie.
It's our default answer.
All I gotta say is Bueller.
We all saw the big Oprah jet fly into town here in Southern Oregon and then take off. So you can't convince us otherwise. It's Oprah.
Okay, this is a very specific tie-in, but because Dale mentioned translating things into German earlier, and because we're on the subject of musical theater, my mouse ears that I am decorating right now, this is a special fabric that I got at Joann's recently. So I'm getting further along. I have my pattern down, and this is supposed to be Anne Boleyn from Six the Musical, because I am in love with that show. And if you haven't seen it, listen to I do not suggest that anyone watch a bootleg, but listen to the soundtrack and watch what you can, because it's
David, it's just nope.
So
piracy has victims.
No, I was sorry.
He agrees with that. 4 out of 5.
I was agreeing. Yeah, with the statement about watching bootlegs, like don't do it. No.
I thought you weren't going to watch them.
Oh, he's not. 4 out of 5 Dcasters right now recommend musicals.
That's it's evident for me. I'm a lost cause, but you Dcasters out there, absolutely.
I think I could get you. I think I got a couple up my sleeve that a couple songs you'd be like, yeah, this is nice.
David, just promise us that you'll watch Hamilton.
If Steve Martin or Rick Moranis is not attached to it, I'm not doing it. So,
are you going to watch Hamilton?
There you have it. No.
What? Well, everyone, this is David's last week here on the show.
Oh man!
So somebody get Steve Martin.
Chris and David are both fired for their lack of Hamilton love.
Let's get Steve Martin Short,
they don't want to come back.
Chase, and let's go ahead and do the Three
That
Amigos.
was a joke.
Okay. Seriously though, I would like to see, now that you mention it, Steve Martin as King George.
Ooh. Well, I like Steve Martin anything, so.
Can he play the banjo somehow? Can somehow he incorporate the banjo?
We could somehow get that in there.
That'd be great.
We have a Facebook user that says, my friend used to work with Queen O when she lived in Chicago.
I didn't work with Oprah. Okay. Oprah was not attached to this project at all.
I'm assuming that's probably Lauren on that comment.
Yeah,
Pretty soon, Andy's going to get a cease and desist letter from it.
I've been dropping clues as to who was involved in it. Like, all I got to say is I want to be buried at sea. And I'm dropping clues like this, like a phoenix rising from the ashes, but no one seems to get it.
Maybe because we have asbestos wings. What? I'm sorry, did I get too deep? Okay, so speaking of deep diving, Disney is deep dove back into their deep dove. That's right. Into their vault, and they're going to release some of their biggest films in the upcoming weeks, which is awesome. So those of you going, hey, Chris, why won't we have Empire Strikes Back? Well, you will now. And the Avengers, and Black Panther, and Deadpool, Zootopia, The Greatest Showman, Iron Man, Force Awakens, and Inside Out, amongst others. Pretty huge announcement. They're finally starting to be able to release them.
You and the 4 other people in the movie theater. So
that's right.
Yeah, I ain't going. Yeah.
Inside Out finally turned 5 years old the other day. It had its 5th anniversary.
Oh, that's a good one.
So I got to ask. I didn't look at our rundown. I'm sorry, but Speaking of releases, Mulan is getting pushed back again.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I didn't have time to put that in, but I did see that. So kind of makes sense.
Yeah, Disney's in a precarious position because there's a sizable number of people who believe, and it's their right to believe it. We're in America; you have the right to be wrong. That this is just a hoax and all this other stuff. So they're writing that line the best they can. But the writing on the wall is, we can't be gathering like that in movie theaters in theme parks for a long time. And so they didn't even give us a new date. They just basically said they want to be the first big release once theaters open back up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's get down to business.
Okay.
To defeat. But however, Downtown Disney is preparing to open, regardless.
That's fine. That's
Tell me about that. They do have some guidelines though. Sean, Amber, anyone you want to talk about?
Amber.
Brooke. You mean Brooke?
Okay.
Amber in the chat. Anything you want to tell us?
Amber, anything?
Amber.
She keeps us in line.
Basically, they're reopening just like Disney Springs did. The same kind of guidelines. We're gonna have temperature screens. They said they're. I think Florida was experimenting with like a bagless check system. They said that they're not doing that yet here. When I wrote that article yesterday, it was very vague on what it was. Just
who wrote the article?
I did. Thank you.
Yeah.
Now,
Insider.com.
Does bagless check mean like the no bag line that you can go through, or is this a completely separate procedure?
I'm not sure. It said that they will not be using the same system that's being used in Florida. So I don't know what that system is exactly because I don't live anywhere near Florida. I don't want to be in that humid area. So, but it's just, basically with them opening, it's just going to be the World of Disney will open on the 9th. It's right here. Salt and Straw. Is that what it's called?
Salt and
Straw from Portland.
Yeah. They said that they're going to open on the 9th, but they have not heard yet from other, because there's a lot of businesses there that will be opening. A lot of people hope when the Starbucks does. Did you guys know that Starbucks is the 5th busiest Starbucks in the world?
Oh,
Doesn't surprise me.
They have a section. They remodeled that one. They have a section there, a whole like other separate Starbucks for mobile orders. It's insane. Right. It still takes forever. I ordered it from the bus and walked all the way in. And I still waited 20 minutes.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. I mean, like you said, like Andy said,
first world problems right there.
It is a very first world problem. I haven't had Starbucks in 3.5 months.
Good for you.
No, it's not good for me.
I don't think he's happy about it.
I have 653 Starbucks stars that I can't use, or I can use it now, but I just don't feel comfortable going inside of a Starbucks right now. But that's just me.
Right.
For you.
Mm-hmm.
I worked for them for 9 years.
And on the topic of Salt and Straw and other businesses that are in downtown areas like Downtown Disney, Disney Springs, and City Walk at Universal, there could be a whole other conversation on how theme parks, I don't want to say water down, but change certain menu items to be more in line with public audiences. I find that fascinating.
Right.
Not always in a good way, but you know how Salt and Straw is known for weird flavors, right?
Yeah.
It can't have very weird flavors in Disneyland. Like, it has weird flavors, but it doesn't have like bone marrow and pig's blood. So,
well, you go to Universal Walk with Voodoo Donuts.
Mm-hmm.
There's a particular donut they're known for, which was very clearly, as someone who went to college in Portland, knew Voodoo Donuts very well. And it was actually, honestly, I'm just gonna say it was their best donut they had, their best tasting donut, but it was the male phallus. And so it wasn't at Universal Walk, and it was very clearly not there.
Well, they even changed the names on their products. Like, they have one bar. It is a regular bar, like a bacon maple bar, but it's a frosted bar with rainbow Fruit Loops on it. And in Portland, it's called the Gay Bar. Mm-hmm. In Universal Parks, they cannot call it the Gay Bar.
I don't know why. Why?
It's called like Rainbow Donut or Fruit Loop Donut or something. And I was like, what? But anyhow.
How about the fruit bar?
Because it's the Gay Bar.
Oh.
Yeah.
There are many different things and I'd like to at some point dive further into the marketing of these areas that I don't quite get that one.
I don't know what that means, but
is that a donut? Voodoo donut that I'm not aware of?
Do I need to Google this, Roxanne?
yeah.
You're gonna have to put on a red light.
That's
my favorite donut.
Mel Donut, the Sailor Jerry.
Nope, I don't. It has another name that. My other favorite donut at Voodoo's has a name that I cannot say on the air either, but it's peanut butter and Oreo cookie, and it's so good. And it has a different name in the Universal Parks as well, because they probably don't want children saying that name.
I have a funny story about that.
You're breaking up there, Brooke. What was the name of that donut?
Yeah.
I almost fell for it too. I see what you did there.
What? Yeah.
Silly Jerry's a spiced rum. Oh, that's my son's name. Okay. All right. We're sitting here trying to figure out. We're like, is that a new donut? Like, I don't even know.
We just want donuts. Okay.
Can I please have a Sailor Jerry?
According to Google, it's some kind of rum.
Donut.
So
it is the spiced rum.
Yeah.
So, hi, Sailor Jerry.
Yep.
Also, my favorite flavor from Salt and Straw is the raspberry black pepper.
And real quick, can the people of Los Angeles stop trying to corporatize everything from Oregon? Like, we know we're trendy up here. We know it. Quit taking it and watering down all the Portland, Oregon stuff. Like, we're cool. Come up here instead of trying to bring our stuff down there. Just saying, LA. I love you, LA. I love you. But stop it.
But here's the thing. I sound like such a hipster when I try and tell my friends, like, oh my gosh, the Voodoo up in Portland, the original one, is like so much cooler. And it's in Burnside and everything. Yeah. So I can't really say that to my friends who don't know Portland except for
Creamfield Chocolate in Portland also has.
Yes, I know.
What does it have, Andy? You started describing a donut, and I am in. I am wired in right now.
Let's keep it Disney.
I'm staring at you like it's one of the Nature Channel documentaries.
As much as I love Voodoo, for fresh donuts, I like Blue Star.
Okay.
Much better.
I can't have any of these now since I've been diagnosed with celiac disease. So I'm talking about this like I can have these now, but I can't.
I'm sorry.
I was eating them before, and they were killing me. They were literally killing me.
Doesn't Blue Star make gluten-free donuts?
They
Top Pot, maybe.
It's not. There's cross-contamination issues.
What is this Blue Star you speak of?
Blue Star Donuts is also in Portland, and it makes fresh donuts. Mm-hmm. So, like, they use fresh berries and
road trip
things to go on the donuts. We could do a whole food episode. It's why I love Disney parks.
Is it the same level of excitement as when that light comes on at Krispy Kreme? And you know they just brought a fresh batch out.
Krispy Kreme, really?
That's a whole different.
Krispy Kreme is so 1997.
I see all of your donuts, and I raise you beignets from the morning call. 100%. So that's how I'll do that one.
See, I'll tell you right now, the best donut place of all is the one that's willing to sponsor this show, Voodoo.
I'll eat one live every week on air.
Voodoo.
Now, has anyone had the donuts from the cart to the left of the castle yet in Fantasy Fair? Those are fairly recent, in the last 2 days.
Is that by the churro
2 days, 2 years. In the last 2 days, they just opened up. Kind of. So the churro cart is more in the center by the hub.
Yep.
And then the donuts and other pastries are right in between the castle and Frontierland. And yes, looking at it in the background, my friend Ari, before the closure of Disneyland, she was a chef and she helped come up with some of these donut ideas that they sell. So that was pretty cool.
I want donuts now. I can't believe you guys did this to me.
Well, let's keep it Disney because we went from Phallus donuts.
Absolutely. So can we talk about some of our shows this week and stuff?
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
So one of the things. So I had a friend of mine who actually hit me up, and they like my Thanos theory. And for those of you who have not got a chance to listen to it, I definitely urge you to check out the Marvel Tribe. I think I have the best theory that proves that Thanos is alive, and I just dropped facts on my timeline, and Chris can kind of back me up here. But what I speak is possibly could be the truth here. Did you say nope?
No, I said yup.
Nope.
I'm like, man, wow, man, like that. So yeah, no.
Can you get that knife out of my back, please?
If you haven't seen it, check out the Marvel Tribe, and we talk about. I mean, we cover the whole gambit. So check it out. We talk about the rumors, or we get to talk about rumors on Marvel Tribe, which is I mean, that's all really what Marvel is at this point in time because everything's kind of quarantined and shut down, but. Check it out.
Those of you who haven't checked it out, if the rumors are true that we're talking about, we're in for one heck of a 10-year plan when Marvel kicks it back up again because they're thinking way outside the box in a lot of this stuff. So, I mean, just from the lineup of movies that keep getting pushed back, just what they're starting to release or they're planning on releasing is just outside the box thinking. So. Yeah, Marvel Tribe. And then don't forget Knights of the Rogue Republic, which had their Clone Wars episode. Was that tonight?
Yeah, that was tonight.
Yes.
Finally got a chance to record it. So we talk all things. Yeah, we talk all things Clone Wars from our favorite moments, our favorite characters, and how we think the series went as a whole.
Very nice. It's a great podcast. It's very, very structured and informative.
And when will that come out?
Friday.
Good thing too, because you had our recording software did a major blip, and I have a lot of work to do on that now. But
were you dancing on Friday? What?
Also, it should be noted that in the middle of the podcast, I dropped the Disneyland news because it was finally one person actually said it out loud. And I go, oh, wait, hold on. We have to stop everything. We have a news update. So by that point, it's going to be old. But
But it was spur of the moment. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, Monday, we get the extra magic hour. And that's always really good. You guys are on top of your stuff. You and Tim and Brooke, Sean, you guys are awesome. And then Sean and I will have an interview coming up next Wednesday.
Yeah, we're recording next Wednesday.
Yeah, we'll record one with Getaway Today, which is an incredible organization. I mean, great travel agent.
It should be good to talk to them about what's going on right now and see what their thoughts are.
Yeah, they've had to adjust a lot of their stuff with people's reservations and everything. They've had to kind of. Well, I mean, I'm sure she'll talk about it. So
right.
Yeah, but we're really excited. I'm excited about that interview. So. Yeah.
Also, real quick on Extra Magic Hour, we did interviews in the past with Fast Pass Facts and Provost Park Pass. You guys have heard that before. I've reached out to both of them, and starting in July, they are both they have agreed to be on at least once a month on the Extra Magic Hour, just for kind of like a check-in,
awesome.
See what they're up to. Chris Provost, I talked to him this morning. I was golfing, and he messaged back. He's so excited, can't wait to do it. They actually got tickets for the opening day at Walt Disney World. So,
oh wow!
I'm hoping to maybe talk to them when they get back next month and see how the experience was. But Fast Pass Facts, we'll talk to them, and they'll tell us what they have coming up, what videos they have coming up for the month, and just kind of check in with them because they do travel down a lot more than we do. So. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that, to have them on all the time. I'm working on a couple other people, too, to maybe have on to just do some check-ins every now and then. So
we'll let's get with Barry and see if we can do a little Airbnb as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That'd be great.
I need a podcast now.
Barry and Bill are great.
You've got like 8 coming out.
Well, no, the Insiders, which was the movie, podcast, it just got to the point where it was just more depressing news. More depressing news. We can.
It's on hiatus.
It was just the same song and dance, just different movie titles.
Andy, you can join us whenever you like.
Yeah, you're more than welcome.
I can be on your show.
Yeah, I mean, you're only the producer and the creator.
Yeah, you're supposed to come on the Marvel Tribe.
I'm not really a Marvel fan. I'm more of a DC guy. I don't know.
Well, I think the Shield says otherwise.
I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, I see that. You have a Green Lantern's power ring. No, it's not. So,
we'll have you come over to Marvel Tribe. You can talk about Michael Keaton and how he's bridging the DC and Marvel.
Now, that's genius. That's a freaking genius move. By DC to freaking try to recover the train wreck that has been their cinematic universe. Genius.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's a great step.
I agree.
So
it's a good move.
Yep. Especially after Keaton did Birdman, it's like, yeah, I love Michael Keaton.
Who doesn't love Michael Keaton? You find someone who doesn't like Michael Keaton, I find you someone that I just don't want to be around.
There you go.
I'm done. I'm out with you. Out with you. Go. Speedo guys. So, yeah, that's what we have. That's what we have coming up, guys. This is our new little live format that we're doing and letting you know what's going to be happening.
Andy, this is your first time. What do you think?
I love it. And next week we will be on YouTube, which will be amazing. We'll have that set up. What's nice about YouTube is if you have, per se, a YouTube app on your smart device, on your television, you can watch us on your TV.
Oh, there you go.
I could be a TV star.
Nice.
Well, this is on Facebook. You technically could just stream your face. You could technically just stream Facebook to your TV as well.
You could, but
as a Parks fan, one thing that I really love doing right now is using the YouTube app on my TV to watch episodes of Defunct Land or people who are vlogging in Disney Springs right now or other theme parks and seeing how they're doing things. So if we can see our faces on that TV now, that would be fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Indeed.
We belong on your TV screen. So.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, I got a face for radio.
I do have to ask this form. Is there a way for us to put like intro and outro music?
Yep.
Oh,
on this? On here?
Yeah.
I think you can, that you can. Yeah, we'll talk about that. This program is amazing.
There you go.
I will show you that. I'll tell you. We're using StreamYard.com actually, so there you go.
StreamYard.
So StreamYard.com. This thing is great. So, like I said, Airbnb, they were on about a month ago, and I was watching that. I'm like, how are they doing that? How are they having people talk to them while they're doing their thing? And this is amazing. We've tried it on Instagram, and it kind of, like they get a few followers and ask a couple of questions. We've had pretty good response on here so far. So
every Wednesday on YouTube and on Facebook and the Disney Insider Facebook group, between 7:30
we can only do 2, so we'll have to decide what we're going to do. So
it's okay. Well,
yeah.
Sorry, Disney Insider Facebook group. I love you, Disney Insider.
So
I love you. We have a bigger reach.
Is StreamYard a sponsor?
They should be.
Not yet. We can work on that, I guess.
Then I can't do my get you some on here.
We here at Dcast. Can I recommend you get you some yet?
Can I talk about Spotify? Spotify is a
please
great
do.
app.
Yeah,
and you should get you some.
Are you going to do the commercial?
Get your auntie some.
I could play. I mean, I actually have them filed somewhere here. I could do my radio voice. Hey there, Dcasters, Sandy here. And let me tell you a little bit about our sponsor. You know who it is. It's Spotify. Spotify is great because it's social. And you can download the whole thing I do and talk about how I started out with a free account and then I had a premium account. Now I have a premium family account. All my family uses Spotify. And I actually say all that really hokey, but actually
while I'm filming out on a film shoot or on
the hiking trail.
Or now hiking. Yeah. Why don't you you want to tell us about your hiking podcast? You do have a podcast.
I haven't. It started. I mean, I've done like 3 or 4 interviews. The hiking community is pretty big, and so last year I really got into hiking. It's kind of changed my life, and so I'm trying to push Disney. Disney's actually got a hiking line with Columbia. I'm trying to get them to push something where it's like Wilderness Explorers gear. But anyways, so we're the Hikers podcast. We talk about not just like how to hike, but it's basically me, Andy, as a new hiker, talking to experienced hikers from all over the country and world. Literally the world. I had an interview in New Zealand this last week, and talking about how hiking has inspired us to not only go out in the wilderness and in the outdoors, but inspired us to be better people, to help people around us, help us to create, help us to conserve the environment around us. So it's the Hikers Podcast. Go to hikerspodcast.com, and a week from today, that podcast launches with episode 1, which is just me telling my story, and then we already have. If you're in the hiking community, you'll know a lot of these names in the outdoor community. So pretty cool stuff. But it's designed and made for if you're the person who's just thinking about starting hiking, or if you've done the Triple Crown, which is the Triple Crown of hiking is the Pacific Crest Trail, Continental Divide Trail, and the Appalachian Trail. Those are basically trails that go from south to north to south of the entire length of the country. If you're a new hiker or you've done a Triple Crown, we want you to enjoy this podcast. And I already got sponsors talking to me and stuff, so I'm super excited.
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Right on, man. I'm telling you, 4th of July is coming up here, and you guys all got to get you some of that. If you don't, you're not a patriot. So make sure you get you some of that. Get you some.
Barbecue at Blurred Hulk's house.
Yeah.
Social distancing.
Oh, actually, I do need to put on the barbecue for everybody.
Yeah.
Please don't play with my emotions, David.
Seriously.
You keep talking about it. You keep talking about it.
Did you say steak?
I have the big grill, and I'm telling you, man, my grill is like kitchen quality, like those commercials. Like I love it, and I can cook steaks, and I have this
that
really
Blackstone one, right?
Yeah, and that was
Maybe
really
we should
great.
do a food
garlic
podcast.
butter sauce put on these steaks, and oh my god, it comes out amazing. So. Yeah, I'll cook
we'll
some
the
steak
barbecue.
Amber posted an AT Walker barbecue yesterday.
Oh yeah,
it was legit. Like it was a Georgia style barbecue. With the wood chips in the bottom, but it was like an AT Walker, and I think it was like legit. I asked my wife; she said no. But
Andy Sailor Jerry says, "Miss you, man."
Hey, thank you for serving our country. I actually mean that. He's a former student of mine who's currently serving in the military. He's actually excelling in the military right now. He's one of the youngest Blackhawk pilots ever. So,
wow,
pretty cool guy.
Right on. Thank you for your service. Absolutely.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yeah. And now the sailor part makes sense.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
Tyler says that flat top grill is amazing. I love mine.
Yeah, Psycho T.
Yes, I agree. Absolutely.
Blackstone, if you want to looking for someone a podcast, let us know.
Get you one of that. Blackstone.
Some of that.
Right there.
Dcast sponsor.
Yep.
So,
get you some.
Right. So where can we all be reached? Let's start. Andy, tell us where you can be reached.
You can reach me on Sean does. There you go. The best place is I have a Twitter. I don't use it that much, but on Instagram, Andy Films and Hikes, because I love film. I love hiking. I couldn't put Andy Films and Hikes in Disney, so it didn't work too long. But films covers Disney, so Andy Films and Hikes, hit me up there. Also, the hikerpodcast.com if you like to talk about hiking. If you want to know about theater and have theater on demand, go to Play for Keeps podcast from the Ashland New Plays Festival. Just search Play for Keeps or go to ashlandnewplays.org. And I think I got more stuff coming out. I got other podcasts I'm working. I went to film school, and now I'm a podcast producer. Seriously.
There you go.
Which is not bad. I mean, a lot of stuff carries over.
Technically, we're recording this, so.
Yeah.
There you go. David, where can you be reached?
Man, I can be reached not everywhere, but I can be reached on Twitter. You can get me on Instagram as the Blurred Hulk. And I have now made amends with TikTok. I'm back on TikTok.
What? You guys made up?
Oh, good.
I'm dropping. There's some hurt feelings. Some apologies were made to me. I was proven right. You hear that, TikTok? I was right. And I'm back on TikTok. I am,
They didn't try. They deleted your account?
Embarrassing all of the. No, there's a. I'll tell you after the show and stuff. But
Okay.
there's some stuff that was said, and I'm not saying that the CEO of TikTok.
Oh. Looks
Oh,
like TikTok
no!
just cut David off.
TikTok was like, no.
TikTok said, not today,
What the
sir.
heck happened?
TikTok was like, no.
All right.
You ain't doing
So-
that today.
Whoa.
Wait.
Oh, there he is. He's
There.
back.
Whoa.
I thought TikTok got a hold of you.
TikTok
I don't
was
know
like,
what
no.
I got cut off. So I'm just
Like
gonna say,
TikTok.
hey, TikTok, I'm sorry, you're probably on my phone or something. You're listening. I didn't do. I mean, we're good. I'm on TikTok, so go to the next person. I don't want to get cut off again.
Amber, where can you be reached?
Mimi Brooke again.
Gosh darn it! I'm staring at Amber's quote. That's why I'm looking over here on the right at her
you are.
glasses picture. And I had a head injury yesterday. I'm kidding. Brooke, where can you be reached?
You're fine, Chris. I can be found right here at Pink Sparkle Tutu on Instagram. More importantly, you can follow my teddy bear, Snowy Snow Bear, on all social media platforms.
I gotta add that
Sean,
one.
where can you be reached? I got your name right. Gosh.
You did. So you can find me at Big Papa Disney on Twitter and Instagram, and that's about it. Oh, and TikTok, but I don't do anything on there. So
You just have an account?
I just watch David's posts.
Number one fan. So
We need
and then
we need a Dcast TikTok.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
I could do some. Try to do some of those dances.
Let's do
You know,
dad jokes.
But oh yeah, just do dad jokes all the time. Yeah. Or then
I'd love to see what you all
and you
do.
go like that. I mean, just like that. I mean, there's. My kids are gonna kill me after.
My
seeing
kids
that,
would
but-
die of embarrassment.
Oh.
And you can reach me at the Big Bayou. That's BAYOUU. And you can hear my wife laughing in the background for free.
Hi, Joy.
Yeah. So
What
everyone
up,
says hi,
Joy?
Joy. So. Oh, it's Sean's dancing. She's like,
Oh, so she's watching right now.
yeah.
Oh. Is that the feedback I was hearing?
Maybe.
There's nothing
Possibly.
wrong with the dance. It's a good dance.
So it is a great
It's the
dance.
easiest dance in the world. Just go like this, and then just yeah.
You
Oh,
just
you do it
about
again.
to-
So
You do that
pretty
3
heavy
times,
laugh.
and then yeah.
Oh, and now everyone's got stuff
My.
to their heads. So, all
Oh my.
Uh-oh.
right.
Well, Andy brought out the hammer. I bring out my throwing tomahawks.
Oh, that's cool.
I had my,
That's really
my
cool.
hiking knife. Oh.
Huh? Yeah. You have your weapon. I have mine.
Tanya says hi to Joy. So hi, Joy.
Yeah.
Hi,
So-
Tanya.
Right, hi, Tanya.
Tanya's amazing. If
Are we all just?
we ever
grabbing
do any
something?
kind of musical stuff, I'll have to get her on here. She's
My
incredible,
Mickey Mouse
incredible
cup.
vocalist.
I don't know
So
if the Mickey, you know.
anyway, guys, that's gonna do it for this Thursday-esque episode of the Dcast.
We haven't all been together for a while, so
The Dcast Live. So join us next week for your weekly entertainment, and don't forget to check out all the shows that we're dropping for you guys. And we're still looking for likes and comments and
shares.
ratings and shares on iTunes Music, and we're working on a Patreon. Correct?
Yep. Yes.
Yes. So we're going to be making some steps, and we hope that you follow along with us. And we'll be starting our new food podcast in another couple weeks. So
Right.
Andy will have something else to do besides the 18 other ones that he does.
Donuts.
I can't.
Donuts.
Yeah, we
And you got to
donut
walk
one,
off.
too.
And then
Yeah.
we'll get to walk it off. You could sponsor it together. You know, we could sponsor a food podcast and then a walk it
Brought to you
off.
by-
Now walk it out. That's it. So
By Winchell's and REI. There
that's
you go.
right.
There you go.
So,
You
you
just
guys
had
have-
a dozen donuts.
Are
Now
we-
we're hiking up Table Rock.
I don't know if I'll be able to walk after a dozen donuts, but
Right?
honestly, I don't think I'll be able to hike up a mountain without it. I'll be like,
Are we-
I'll see you guys at the bottom.
Are we
I'll
going
be
to
right
try
here.
this?
Yeah, let's
you
do
want,
it.
You want to try it?
Why not?
Tell you what, we always did better when Andy cued it. So why don't we have Andy cue the Dcast, and we'll see if that helps us.
It's still
Maybe
not gonna
he's
work,
the
but let's
missing
do it.
ingredient, because when I do it, it's chaos. So
All right.
it's
so
like
guys,
basketball at the YMCA.
uh,
It's just
Oh, this is starting to be painful.
So, guys, thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of the Dcast live stream. Make sure you follow us on the various social media networks at Dcast.com and thedisinsider.com for the latest. And from all of us at the Dcast, we thank you for listening to this week's episode of Wait for It, the
Dcast.
I mean, seriously, I can't even.
That's got to be live.
Ow.